You've already ruined your entire year. Now, this may be true for some, but for most, it may not be at all. A lot of people have already broken promises to themselves. They've told themselves that this is a new year, this is a new them, and that they would fulfill and make good on their promises. They haven't. They've told themselves they'll do A, B, C, and they've done X, Y, Z. They've gone back to being the same person the moment the motivation's worn off. And let me explain what I mean. Most people, they don't fail because life is hard. They fail because they can't uphold the standards that they set for themselves. Say, for example, you say you're going to wake up earlier and you don't do that. You say that you're going to stop wasting time. You don't. You say that this year is your year. Then you treat it the exact same as the last one. It's the same habits, same excuses, different calendar. That's how people ruin their year early. Not with one big mistake, but 1,000 betrayals to themselves. And the crazy part is, nobody else notices. These betrayals, they're quite small. Nobody sits down and has that talk with you. Hey, you keep on breaking promises to yourself. So this becomes your new norm. And before you know it, your self-respect will start to disappear. And this is why I firmly believe that New Year motivation is dangerous. Motivation is this big spike, whereas lifestyle, it's boring, it's unglamorous, it's repetitive. It's doing the same boring things over and over again, even when nobody's watching. I figured out that most people don't want a lifestyle. They want a highlight reel. They want reward without efforts. They want to be seen as that person who does all of these great things without actually undergoing the process. They want the results without becoming that person who earns them. Think about how many people who jump on trends, new challenges, new goals, new arcs, new buzzwords. And what you'll start to realize is that starting actually isn't that hard. It may be complex at times because you negotiate with yourself, but everybody can start. Almost everybody is obsessed with starting. Nobody is obsessed with continuing. The moment whatever they're doing stops feeling new, they stop showing up, and that isn't growth, that's just entertainment. And if you're constantly chasing the next trend to try and fix your life, then you may just have to face the facts. The uncomfortable truth is that you're not focusing on the basics, you're inconsistent. Another thing that I want to talk about as well is discipline. People believe that discipline comes from maybe motivation, but it doesn't. It comes from identity. You don't try and change going into the mindset of I'm somebody who is trying to change. You do it because it's who you are. And that subtle changes everything. I think you should apply it to absolutely everything in your life. For example, there's a big difference between someone saying I'm trying to work out and someone who says I'm someone who trains. One is optional, one is non-negotiable. One depends on the mood, the other one happens even when you don't feel like it. Most people ruin their year because they never make the identity switch. They tell themselves, maybe I'll start tomorrow, maybe I'll do it the day after that. One day off won't hurt. Until it does, until it starts to become a pattern. And I mean, I just want you guys to look at how people live. Monday to Friday, work, college, school, you name it. Friday night, they're out clubbing. Saturday, they may be out drinking. Sunday, there's anxiety. And then they wonder why year after year, nothing changes. You don't need a massive life overhaul. You just need standards that you'll actually respect. Like if you say you're going to do something, you'll actually do it. And if you slip up, you won't spiral, but you'll come back somehow. And yes, this applies to small tasks too. Waking up like you said you would, putting your phone down after hours of scrolling to try and avoid your thoughts, going out for a walk. Each of these small moments can either build your character or destroy it. People really believe that confidence comes from achievements, but it doesn't. It comes from self-trust. It comes from telling yourself that you're going to do something and then actually showing follow through. And when you don't, it erodes. That's why so many people feel stuck, anxious, or unmotivated. It's not because they're incapable. It's because they just don't trust themselves anymore. So maybe the year isn't ruined, but it will be if you keep treating your standards like they're suggestions and not rules. You don't need the perfect Monday, you don't need a new plan, and you certainly don't need another video after this one to remind you. You need to decide the person you're going to be when nobody else is watching, when nobody else is clapping. A new lifestyle isn't built in big moments, but it's built in the boring hours, the quiet mornings, the boring evenings, the moments where you show up with zero energy, but still choose to do the bare minimum. And that's where momentum comes from. So do yourself a favor and stop asking, why can't I fix my life? And start asking, what am I currently tolerating that I shouldn't be? Because whatever you tolerate, you teach yourself to accept, and whatever you accept becomes normal. You don't need to be extreme with it, you just need to be honest. If you said you're going to change something this year, uphold it, even when it's inconvenient, especially when it's inconvenient. That's the difference between people who drift through life and people who actually build something for themselves. Having said all of that, perhaps you haven't ruined your year yet, but if you continue to lie to yourself, chase trends, break promises, instead of building habits, then you honestly will. And I feel like deep down, honestly, you already know this. For those of you who have made it to the end of the video, maybe the title was a bit aggressive, but sometimes I think it's necessary to wake some of you guys up. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share it to a friend who you think may need to hear this message. And if you guys want to join a community full of like-minded people on the path to self-development, I'll leave a link down below in the description. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care and God bless.